All right, we should be live, although it's saying waiting. It should be live. Yep. Yep.
Yep.
All right. All right. I want to start out by saying Shalom and Barakatah Yahawah, Barakatah Yahawashi. Pretty much, we're going to get into a lesson. As you can see, the name of the title is called "We Hate What the Lord Hates." And boy, oh boy, this is a serious topic. Hey, Salaka for the bad what you call it, the bad lighting, or not just so much of the lighting. I'm using my Google Chrome, and the video quality is not that great on it. I mean, I would have used my phone normally, but we got the brother YAHAWAH, the head of the North Carolina camp, to come in up with us on this lesson, and I had to use this because I don't have my resources are limited, all right. But we got the brother Zaab from the Atlanta camp and the brother Kasha Carter from the Atlanta camp. We're waiting for another brother Gamal to come through. He should be here shortly, but we're just going to get started. And pretty much the title says it all, we hate what the Lord hates, and pretty much there's a lot of fuckery going on, for lack of better words. And the Most High, he's starting to really trim the fat off, of this thing that we're dealing with, man, because the Most High is angry right now, man. He's been angry, and you have a lot of stuff going on that is not cool. You brothers out there that's in the different camps, you gotta be mindful of how you deal with brothers, man. Because the Most High, that's a very sensitive thing with the Most High, man. He don't play around when it comes to offending his little ones. If somebody can get that, you don't take lightly. You pretty much, for lack of better words, fucking brothers over, man. Because you got to remember this one thing. When the Lord, first of all, the Lord is drawing brothers into this thing. Somebody get there that real quick. John 15 and 16, and then somebody get John 6:44. The Most High, through Yahawashi, first and foremost, the Most High, then Yahawashi is drawing these men in. So you got to be mindful of how you're dealing with these men, because you don't know who these men are. You can't just be doing whatever the hell you want to do. You can't just be treating brothers any way you want to treat them. Now I'm not saying be baby brothers, because this knowledge is, the Most High is a hard teacher, and in this knowledge you have to be hard, to sometimes the brothers to get them to walk in that right path, but at the same time, you don't just do whatever the hell you want to do, because these are not your servants. These are the servants of Yahawah, BAHASHAM, Yahawashi. All right, you got that?
I got it. 16.
Yeah, we read that one first, and then we can go to John.
This is Mark chapter 9, verse 42. And whosoever shall offend one of these little ones that believe in me, it is better for him that a millstone were hanged about his neck.
Right, and I just want to say shalom to the Akim out there, that's watching. Read that again, brother.
This is Mark chapter 9, verse 42. And whosoever shall offend one of these little ones that believe in me, it is better for him that a millstone were hanged about his neck and were cast into the sea.
Right. So these little ones, we're the little ones. All of us. We're the little ones. And you have brothers that's being brought into this truth that are the little ones also. So you have to be careful how you deal with them, man. You have something to say, YAHAWAH?
No, I was listening.
Okay. So now let's go to John 15 and 16.
This is John 15 and 16. It says, ye have not chosen me, but I have chosen you.
Right. Yahawashi said, you have not chosen me, but I have chosen you. So you have men that's coming into this knowledge that the Lord is drawing in. Not men. Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI is drawing brothers into this thing, not men, right? And then that was it on there, right?
No, I know a little bit more.
Okay, and then get John 6:44.
It says, and so like I said, ye have not chosen me, but I have chosen you and ordained you, and ye should go and bring forth fruit, and that your fruit should remain.
Right. Then the Lord ordained us that we should bring forth fruit and that our fruit should remain. So basically the Lord gave us this knowledge, wisdom, understanding to teach other men, and those men that are being joined by the Lord. You know, I mean, some guys are coming into this thing, you know, as those that came in unawares, you know, but at the same time, you do have men that the Lord is drawn to come into this thing for their salvation. You know, so you got to be careful how you deal with brothers, man. You just can't treat a brother any old way. They used to do that back in the old school at one West. They used to treat brothers like shit, you know. And what happened? The majority of those guys used to treat brothers like shit. They're gone. You know. Now you had like Apostle Tahar, Apostle Gabar, Apostle Rakan. They were hard on brothers, you know, but it was for their benefit to build them up, you know. But they didn't just treat brothers any old way. You know, you back then, you know, you speak to a high-ranking officer, you know, unless you are called him by his prestigious title that he had, he wouldn't want to salute you. You know, like, you know, you just a peon, get out, you know. So that's how they would treat you. But Apostle Tahar never treated us or anybody like that. You know, every time you would approach him, and the man would be humble, and he would talk to you, no matter who you were. You know, he would talk to pretty much anybody, you know? So that's an example for us, you know?
Okay.
I got a quick
yeah, bring it out.
All right. This is First Corinthians chapter 13, verse 2. It says, "And though I have the gift of prophecy and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, and though I have all faith so that I could remove mountains, and have not charity, I am nothing." You know, so that charity, the word charity goes back to brotherly love, man. You know, if you don't have sincere brotherly love to your fellow brethren, you know, the Lord said you are nothing, man. You know, and you can have the ability to break down scriptures. You can go into all the dark parables, the mysteries. You know, you can look good doing it too. But if you ain't got brotherly love, the Lord said you ain't shit. You know?
That's right.
Yeah, kind of. That's what the apostle was trying.
It's just
Okay, yeah. But that's what the apostle was trying to give his testimony on Apostle Tahar. I don't want to cut you off, brother. But yeah, that's what he was saying. Apostle Tahar pretty much was a very brotherly. He was very, very brotherly, you know? So when you bring that scripture out, you know, it's just to indicate what the apostle is really saying. That's what we use the scriptures for. To back up what we say, we got to do that in righteousness. So you bring that scripture out, it's just
I mean, I guess if you know, because I wanted to hear what the brother was saying, but it's like it was working fine just now. All of a sudden, it just stopped.
Right.
Okay, now I can hear you now. All right, so yeah, you got it. You finished with that up, Ashiya?
Yeah, that was it. I got kind of lost with the sound. I don't know what happened, but yeah, that was it.
Yeah, something just went out for a minute.
Okay.
All right. All right, so yeah, man. So let's go to John 6:44 real quick, and then we're just gonna hit a few precepts. This ain't gonna be a long lesson, but if the Spirit wants it to go longer, it'll go longer. Because at the end of the day, this thing is this is the Lord's work, and you can't try to do this work with a faint heart, with a what's the word I'm looking for? I mean, hypocritically, you know, the best word I could use. You know, you have, when you're doing this work, you got to be sincere about what you're doing and what you're teaching. You know, it's got to come from the heart. It can't just be something that you're mimicking somebody doing, because the scriptures speak about mockers. You know, mockers could be somebody that's making fun of the truth, but they could also be somebody that's mimicking a man of the Lord. You know, that's why you have to dig deep within yourself and find out, is this really for me? You know, you have to ask yourself questions like that. That's part of the building blocks of this truth too. That's also part of the character building of this knowledge. You know, like the brother did a video. I forgot. I think it was the brother Mike from the LA camp. And they have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable, and it's true. We've been saying that for the longest. Didn't necessarily use those choice of words, but you have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable, because being uncomfortable is what builds up your character. You know, if you know you put yourself in a situation, and by you putting yourself in that situation, the Lord will build up your spirit. You know, but you have to first just throw. You just have to throw it all out.
I lost sound. Hey, Salakia, I lost the sound. Salakia, it went mute. I don't know what the hell is going on. Like, I don't hear anything that you're saying right now. Salakia. I don't hear anything. My sound just went out. It's fucking Satan. Damn. Yeah, my sound is totally cut out. Salakia. Man. Yeah, my whole sound is gone. I can't hear anything. Hello? Yes. Let me go back to it. Okay, hold on. Yeah, I'm trying to look through it now. I don't know why the hell this is happening. Nope. Okay. Let me see if I can get that. Salakia about that. Yeah, it's on. My microphone is on. I'm looking at it right now at that option you were telling me about. It's off. It's off. Yeah, it's not coming on. Yep, I'm open on my end too. It's just done. All right. Yeah, that's cool.
I have to hit reset.
That's cool.
Just hit reset on it and see what happens.
All right.
Yeah,
What-
yeah, brother, got it.
I wonder if I need to hang up and call back.
Just hang up.
All right.
Yeah, so that's pretty much, man. We're servants of the Lord. You know, we're trying to serve the Lord, and the best way to do that is through prayer. You know, and try to gain a better relationship with Yahawah. You know,
So speak up a little more.
yeah, try to constantly, be in the spirit. Do that, be around brethren. And to be around active is going to require a lot of patience, a lot of suffering, okay, because you're dealing with men that the Lord has placed in your life. This is not a fraternity where we handpick who comes around. We got to deal with the cards that we're dealt, because this is the Lord's will, okay? So when you understand that, you understand fully that we're completely subjects of Yahawah. We're pretty much, at his power. He can manipulate things, and with that comes a fear of the Lord. Yeah, that gives you a certain level of fear. Like, damn, the Lord can mess me up at any time, because I can be driving a safe seatbelt on, going 40, and the Most High sends something to take you out of it. And the fear of the Lord is something that's key. That to make sure that people don't go off out here, man. That's something that we have to have. Okay, so when you read through the scriptures and you see there's certain things that the Most High hate, then you gotta hate those things, man. You can't bask in those things. The Lord hates sinners, so you can't hang around sinners. Okay. The Lord hates faggots, which falls under that umbrella of a sinner. but there are different levels of sin. There's sins that are punishable by death. And there's certain sins, there are different laws that you may break, that like one law, if you defraud your brother, you have to pay him back double. That's in the law.
I got a precept for you.
Go ahead.
This is Psalms 119 and 104. Through thy precepts I get understanding, therefore I hate every false way.
Right, because when you read the scriptures is 100% against everything that goes on in this society that we live in. Everything. From the food that you niggas eat, or even your nations, your people. Because y'all niggas are just small, even though, Israel is kind of all over and we're great. Y'all niggas in the eyes of the people that run this place, y'all are nothing. But the food that y'all eat, all the cigarettes that y'all smoke, all of that is abominable in the eyes of the Lord. The church that y'all go through, the doctrine that y'all follow, the fact that y'all are okay with a woman, a serpent, and a man, your whole way of thinking is adverse to the scriptures. That's
That's like what the brother's going into is ultimately.
Can you hear us now?
Yeah, we're good to go.
Good. All right, shalom, brother.
Shalom.
All right, so like ultimately what the brother was going into, how everybody, heathens and the 2/3 go aimlessly about in this world, they ultimately don't have any fear. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have fear, you don't have love for the Heavenly Father and the Son, YAHAWASHI. And I want to get a quick precept because most people don't know what love is. All right. That's in 2 John,
right.
The 6th verse, and it reads, "And this is love, that we walk after His commandments. This is the commandment that as ye have heard from the beginning, ye should walk in it." So if you're always trying to, walk into the commandments, do the commandments, that's an act of faith.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? That's an act of love, because love is an action word. You know what I'm saying? You have to show it. Yeah, and also by showing that you hate every false way,
Right.
that's showing love too, because you hate what the Lord hates.
Yeah, because they made love to be just a vain saying. You get with your woman, say I love you. They made it's really a blank statement. But like the brother was saying, love is through action. All right. And how do you show the Lord? How do you show the Lord you love him? You keep his commandments. All right. You be obedient to the Most High. Yeah. Go ahead.
Just expounding on what the brother was saying. This is a psalm because the brother was saying, in this society now they teach you that love is, something that's fairy tale, pretty much, and it's a vain thing. And ultimately, love in Esau's world is a vain thing to even think about. And this is Psalm 119 and 113. "I hate vain thoughts, but thy law do I love." If you love the law and try to keep it to the best of your ability, man, you're gonna fight off the vain thoughts, because ultimately they're just demons.
Yeah, which I'll show you out of everything.
This is Psalms 97:10, because the Lord, he hates as well, just adding on to what the brother was saying, man. The Lord is not just one emotion, he hates as well. This is Psalms 97:10. Ye that love YAHAWASHI hate evil. All right. So anything that's wicked, contrary to the Lord, you're going to hate that. That's the spirit of the Lord, that you should be in. It says, "He preserveth the souls of his saints. He delivered them out of the hand of the wicked." But just stressing the point, the Lord hates, man. There's balance with YAHAWASHI.
Kind, man, because scriptures brothers just brought out, being vain, it's just being worthless, and the Lord hates those type of thoughts, man.
Yeah.
I had a quick precept as well. This is John 14:50. It says, "If you love me, keep my commandments." That's straight to the point. even in the world, you know, Jake wants to, he might look at love, and he's been taught that love is something that's been vain and just, you know, a whole bunch of BS. But even the woman requires Jake to do a whole bunch of stuff, man. Jake goes head over heels to go get flowers, to take it here, take it there, do all this stuff to show love, because it's a matter of showing it, not just saying it. So you might say certain things, but you gotta show it, especially when you're around Akim. You gotta show brothers that you love them, man. You know what I'm saying? You gotta do certain things. Your actions are gonna show if that's true or not. You may say it, but your actions are more important to YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI. You can't say you love the Lord and then you go, you know, put pork, you hide pork in a brother's sandwich, and then say that's wicked, man.
I got some. You got some? Do you want to bring out? No, good.
This is Sirach chapter 1, verse 28. Distrust not the fear of the Lord when thou art poor, and come not unto him with a double heart. You know, it's the same thing with the brother. You know, they may be speaking that they love YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI, and all is deceit in their mind. But like, if I'm not mistaken, in the book of John, I think the book of John, it talks about YAHAWASHI who all men. You know, and finding your heart. He knows if you're being two-faced, ultimately, you know.
That's right. That's what the Most High said. He tried the reins in the hearts of men. You know, it's not about the outward appearance or how you appear to people. It's what the Lord sees inside of you and how the Lord feels about you.
That's right.
But I got a quick one. This is 1 John 3:18. My little children, let us not love in word, neither in tongue, but in deed and in truth. You know? And hereby we know that we are of the truth and shall assure our hearts before him. You know, because, you know, if you saying you love the Lord or you love a brother, whatever, you're going to show forth by your actions. You know, there's a term that goes, action speaks louder than words. And that's the truth. You know, you cannot say something, but by your actions you can show. That's why when you read in the book of James, it says that he was going to.
I got it right here too.
Okay, y'all got it.
Yeah, James 1:22. But be ye doers of the word, and not hearers only, deceiving your own selves. For if any be a hearer of the word and not a doer, he is like unto a man beholding his natural face in a glass. So as you see, you know, you got to be a doer of the word. You can't just you know, hear about this thing, you know, and you know, say that you make blank statements, you know, and just, you know, you have to be hands-on, man, and actually be about it, you know. Don't just say it, just be about it, you know.
Just talk the talk, walk the walk.
Yeah, kind of. I'll read it again. It's James 1:22. But be ye doers of the word and not hearers only, deceiving your own selves. So you deceive yourself that way, man. You know, you basically, there's actually a term for that. It's called, what is it called? Slacky. It just left me. It'll come back to me, slacky, but I'll just keep going. But be ye doers of the word and not hearers only, deceiving your own selves. All right, and I'll just kind of paraphrase it, but there's a term in psychology, all right, that basically, if you basically you're basically deceiving yourself by if someone corrects you about something, it's like I'm just kind of slipping up. But if someone corrects you on something and you know better and you actually don't take action, then you're actually just furthering yourself into a lie. All right. So you only have two options. Once you've been corrected about something, you either can turn away from it, or you know, you change that action, or you just continue to lie and just keep lying to yourself. All right. So it says deceiving your own selves. All right. For if any be a hearer of the word and not a doer, he is like unto a man beholding his natural face in a glass. For he beholdeth himself and goeth his way, and straightway forgetteth what manner of man he was. So you basically becoming just a demon, because you're no longer who you truly were. You're engulfed in these lies, and then
Self-deception.
you fooled yourself.
Yeah.
You know.
I
And the main reason for that with Jake be pride. You know, because the brother Gamar was trying to, but what he was trying to say, you know, pretty much is because you didn't take that correction from men who are actually, you know, showing you love, because you know that's what correction is. It's love. You know, and you didn't take that correction. You bask in your sins and your wrongdoing. More pride comes upon you, and now you're deceiving yourself, thinking like you're the man when you're an idiot, man. Because you don't even have enough wisdom to see when you're going off. That's leave us in the problem. You know, this eloquent man knows when he wisdom.
Yeah,
Go ahead,
brother.
Okay, God, this is 1 Samuel chapter 16, verse 7. It says, but how about unto Samuel, now his countenance, or the height of his stature, because I have refused him. For YAHAWASHI seeth not as man seeth. All right, so the Lord, he doesn't look at man how we perceive in our own fleshly carnal mind. It says, for man looking from the outward appearance, but the Lord looketh upon the heart. You know, so that goes back to what the apostle was saying. The Lord is going, he tries the reins of man. He looks at who you are eternally, man. You know, and like the brother was saying, you know, you got to be a doer of the word, man. You know, so all of that's going to show, you know what I'm saying, if you truly taking heed to the scriptures, you know.
I got a precept for you. This is Sirach chapter 11, verse 2. Commend not a man for his beauty, neither abhor a man for his outward appearance.
Yeah, because it's the inward man that comes. You know, and that's what the Lord's looking for. I got another precept too. This is Sirach 21:7. Says an eloquent man is known far and near, but a man of understanding knoweth when he slippeth. Yeah, see, so that's the back you up, Ashia. You know, if you gotta know when you're fucking up, man. You should know when you fuck up.
Yeah, and that's what it's good to say. Examine thyself. You know, when you examine yourself, meaning you take into account of your spirit of things that you're doing. You know, now if you can't see if you, I mean, sometimes, you know, brother may have to call something out because it's something you may not see. But if you have to, somebody get that scripture that says, "Be not as a horse that has to have the bits put in their mouth," something like that. And, you know, if you can't see that when you're going off, then there's something wrong with you, man. You know, now like I said, there's certain times, instances where you may be going off, you don't see it, and the brother has to correct you on it. But if you always just don't see when you're going off, no matter what brothers are telling you, you just can't see it. You just like, right. I don't see what you're talking about. All I can see is that, you know, I'm not doing this or I'm not doing that. You know, but everybody got the same. They got the same report of you, or they got the same thing to tell you about what you're doing, and you still don't see it. Then there's something wrong with you. Because it shouldn't take everybody to tell you that you're going off, but then you yourself be like, no, I don't know what you're talking about.
Right.
You know?
I got that. Yeah. Psalm 32:9. Be ye not as the horse or as the mule, which have no understanding.
Right. Be not as a horse or the mule, which has no understanding. Because the horse and the mule they're just created to what? To work. But they only will do what the person that's driving them does. You know? So the master that's over them, he'll direct them how to do whatever they got to do. You know, but don't be like those animals, because they have to be shown what to do. After a while, when you get in this truth, you should know already what to do. You know, you should already know that you're not supposed to commit adultery with another man's wife. You should already know that you ain't supposed to line your beard up. You should already know that you're not supposed to get a bald head. You should already know that you're not supposed to eat pork. You know? You shouldn't have to wait for, damn, Shalaki, bro, I didn't know ham was pork. Nobody ever taught. It's not, the scripture don't say ham, it just says pork. You know? You shouldn't be like them dumb animals like that.
Yeah, kind of. And if you do it, and just like the apostle just said, if it's a situation where a horse or these animals have to be driven by their master, you're supposed to be serving YAHAWASHI. So then you're supposed to understand there's certain things that's not right to do. if that's your master. It's not right. Like, you're not gonna go into a brother's house and see a picture of Caesar Borgia hanged up, and then he's telling you, "Oh, well, I don't think there's anything wrong with that."
Right.
You look at that man like, well, what the hell's going on?
Yeah.
These are things you're supposed to already be repelling before you even coming into the brotherhood, because that's what's going to draw you. Because you're going to be looking out here for men with a similar mindset. So there's certain things that you're supposed to know, just in your spirit, in your inward man. So these things are not excusable. This is not a part of us having mercy, or this is inexcusable stuff. This is stuff where that's literally between you and the Most High, bro. But we're totally disgusted, and we're going to say something about it. If I go to a brother's house and there's a picture of Caesar Borgia, bet your life I'm saying something, man. What the fuck's going on, man? Is this some kind of who are you, man?
It's a joke.
Yeah. Who is this guy? You know, where is this coming from? And there's no explanation he can give, man. He ain't got shit to say.
You got to lead by example. You know, that's the ultimate thing. You got to lead by example. Scripture says, "To whom much is given, much is required." You know, so if the Lord set us up to be leaders, we have to show forth leadership. You know, and we have to show forth the examples of being a leader. You know, if not, then what are you going to do? You know, people ain't going to follow you. You know, the Apostle Paul said, "Be ye followers of me as I am of YAHAWASHI." So if you're not following the examples of YAHAWASHI, men are not going to follow you. If they're in the spirit of YAHAWASHI, but if they're in the carnal mind, they're gonna follow you, because it says many shall follow their pernicious ways. You know?
And you know, the longer you've been in this thing, the more, you know, the harsher the Lord is going to punish you. You know, because you know, like the brothers was saying, certain things, you know, that's certain things. When you come up on a certain level, it's like, you know, they were saying, brothers shouldn't have to tell you certain things. So, you know, the Lord's going to punish you harder. You know, if you a newer brother, I mean, if you a younger brother, maybe just a couple months in, okay, yeah, you might fuck up. You might ask, you know, certain, you know, dumb, you know, quote unquote, dumb questions or newbie questions or whatever. But a guy that's been around, you know, the Lord's going to take care of you, man, because you know better than that, you know? Just like, you know, looking for the precept now, I'll get it in a second, but you know, when you reach a certain age, your parents, if you do something, you know, on a certain magnitude, they're gonna beat you harder.
Yeah,
they're like, come on, man, you know better.
You're not gonna beat. If you have a son or a daughter that's 17 or let's say 12, 15 years old, you're not gonna discipline them in the same manner you discipline your 2 or 3-year-old son. It's different levels of discipline. And different levels of reproof or punishment. Go ahead.
I got a precept. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 13 and 11. When I was a child, I spake as a child. I understood as a child. I thought as a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things.
Yeah, so you can't use that excuse, I didn't know. You're supposed to know, man. You're a leader, you're supposed to know. You know, you're supposed, if the Lord gave you the authority over certain men, whether you're the head of the camp, whether you're the second in command, third, fourth in command, there's certain things you're supposed to already know. You know, you can't just use that excuse, well, I didn't know. And even Esau has a terminology in law. Ignorance of the law is how does it go? Ignorance of the law is no excuse, something along those lines.
Yeah.
Just because you don't know, don't mean that you're not held accountable for it. You know, because some guys try to play that card. I don't know, so. You know, but that's why the spirit of YAHAWASHI, he's the one that governs, and he's the one that brings forth the truth to the light, so to speak.
Yeah, the spirit knows.
Exactly.
If I could say too, to build on both the brother Kamal and the apostle point, even if you do something that may be wrong, there's still levels to that, man. You know what I'm saying? Like a brother coming in 3 months in, and, you know, like maybe asking a foolish question compared to a brother 3 months in, still smoking a J or committing adultery or, you know, like doing something, eating pork, like ordering a pepperoni pizza in front of other brothers, like, yeah, I'll have a pepperoni pizza and then eating it. There's levels to these mistakes, which can show men of higher stature what spirit you're really coming in. So they're gonna see you from a mile away. Believe that. If you come around the apostle and and you're ordering, you're 12 months into this thing, and you're ordering pepperoni pizza, waiting for him to correct you. What do you think he's doing?
Beef pepperoni.
Unless it's beef pepperoni, you know, or you order a burger and you add bacon.
Yeah,
God.
unless it's turkey bacon.
Then what you expect, man? You're gonna get way more reproof than that. You know, ask them, hey brother, hey apostle, is there 9 or 10 commandments?
Yeah, because you know what happens? Can somebody get that in their pocket that says such a man only fears the eyes of men? No, because if you're doing it like that, if you only don't do certain things when you're around certain men, then you come in as a hypocrite, man. You know, and the scriptures speak about hypocrites. You know, Lord's will, we're gonna get to some of those scriptures too. You're coming as a hypocrite because you're not coming sincerely. You know, the scriptures talk about don't do this thing with eye service. You know, don't be the guy that he's only doing the right thing when other men or other men of the Lord are around that are watching you. No, you gotta. This is something that's got to be a part of your life, a part of your everyday life, a part of your walk. You know, everything that you do, everything that you think about. You know, it's supposed to be about the knowledge of the truth. You know, so don't just be that dude that only does the right thing when other men are watching you. Because we got to remember, the Spirit is always watching. The Spirit is always there. The Spirit, the Lord's angels are always around. That's what the scripture said, that the Lord's eyes are 10,000 times brighter than the sun. And it also says that the eyes of the Lord are upon the whole earth, man. Beholding the good and the evil. You know? You had something, Aisha?
Well, I got that one you called.
Yeah, I got chapter 5, and I'm gonna start at verse 25. It says, if we live in the Spirit, let us also walk in the Spirit. Verse 26. Let us not be desirous of vainglory, provoking one another, envying one another, man. So that, what the apostle was saying, it goes back to vainglory, you know, being seen amongst men, being popular, trying to be that guy, you know, all of the worthless bullshit, you know, that are just pushing, you know.
Yeah, and because the bottom line, look, we can't save you. These brothers can't save you. The brother Ashiyah, nobody can save you. Only YAHAWASHI can save you. You know, shit, we can't save ourselves. So we have to do the things that are pleasing in the sight of YAHAWASHI to the best of our ability. Right. Now, are we gonna go off? Yeah, but we're in the flesh. We're all gonna go off. We're in the flesh. But the thing about it is doing this work sincerely. You know, hoping and praying that you and we are part of the elect. You know, and that's the bottom line, man. So if you coming in that spirit, you ain't just gonna do some bullshit. You know, you're not gonna just defraud your brother. You're not gonna commit adultery with your brother's wife. You know, you're not just gonna do whatever the hell you want to do. Get a fade, and after men get on you, you get the lineups in your beard and the lineups in your hair, and after a man gets on you, you still doing the same shit. You just wait for a couple of weeks to go by. Then when you turn around, you start growing a hair back. Say, okay, the brother, you know, he's listening good. Then another week goes by. You see him nice and clean. You know, he just had a nice clean edge up on his beard and on his hair. So, what do you think this is, man?
I got
you know. You got
it's Baruch 6 and 49. How then can men perceive that there be no gods, which can neither save themselves from war nor from plague? For seeing they be but of wood and be overlaid with silver and gold, it shall be known thereafter that they are false. So you know, like the apostle was saying, you can't save yourself. You know, you can't save yourself from you know, the judgment, you know, that's coming, man. You know, that's why YAHAWASHI, his name means he is deliverer. You know, he has to deliver us from this captivity. He has to deliver, you know. And how do we get that deliverance? We have to obey him. We can't, you know, be disobedient. All right, because when he comes back, if you know we don't have a good report, then that's our ass, you know.
Yeah.
So
this is so
yeah, because the scripture said that we all have to appear before the judgment seat of YAHAWASHI when he comes back.
Right.
You know, and give account. Every one of us got to give account. You got it.
Yeah, this is Sirach 23:18. A man that breaketh wedlock, saying thus in his heart, who seeth me?
Mhm.
I am compassed about with darkness.
Right, because he's not looking at the Most High, YAHAWASHI, and the angels looking and seeing what he's doing. He's like,
Look at men.
ain't no brothers around? Okay, I'm gonna do this because ain't no brothers around. If you come to that spirit, man, you know you might as well just off yourself, man. You know, because that's a bugged out spirit. That's a reprobate spirit.
That's right.
You know, because you're looking around because they know no brother watching you.
Paranoid.
Yeah, because you know if a person in the world may be watching you, you don't give a shit because they don't know what the hell you're into. But I'm saying you just only concerned that there's brothers around. You know, ain't no brother around. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do, you know.
Yeah.
But here it is when the brothers come around, you on your best behavior. You're like, damn, this must be a righteous dude right here, man. Yeah, this dude is this dude is super righteous, man. When you get around this man, I mean, he just exudes righteousness in everything he does. But then when nobody's around watching him, he's doing all kind of foul shit. No, and that's why this thing is called, or this lesson is called, we hate what the Lord. The Lord hates that, man. The Lord hates a fucking hypocrite. You know, the Lord hates a hypocrite. You know, and the word hypocrite goes back to acting. You know, because you're just acting the part that you want people to see of you, but you're really not that person that you're showing yourself to be. You know?
And then when you get called in the demon comes out.
Yeah, and you try to make all kind of examples, man, like that black cat. You trying to meow your way out of shit. No, deep down inside you ain't right.
Reset for you.
Kind
Let me finish this up.
Okay.
Go ahead, brother.
God, it says the walls cover me and nobody seeth me. Woo! Yeah, because you know no brothers around. You're in the privacy of your home. So here now you about to have that pork chop that you've been waiting for. You know, you about to go here and sleep with this man's wife because there ain't nobody there. Okay? It says, what need I to fear? It says, the Most High will not remember my sins. It says, such a man only feared the eyes of men.
Why? Because the only time he gets corrected in his warped mind is when brothers are around. Like, don't do that, bro. Yeah, he can't be doing this. But when he's doing shit on his own, he don't hear that. Yeah, I'm getting away with this. Everybody's saying nothing.
Which means he's not in the spirit.
Right. Which shows that he really doesn't understand what this is about. He really does not fear the Lord. He only fears men. That's why he will only do the right thing when men are around. You know? And even in some cases, he'll do shit wrong when younger men are around him. But when the older brothers come around, he won't do the same shit that he does when the younger men are around.
He's a perfect actor.
And which goes back to the word hypocrite.
God.
You have something
Yeah. That goes back to scripture we were reading earlier before we started. Jude verse 4. It says, "For there are certain men crept in unawares." All right. When you bring out that word unawares in the Greek, it's parasadu. It says to enter secretly.
Yeah, make sure you don't say the Greek word around the IUIC. They may get offended.
Hey, we make it a doctrine. It says that word unawares. It says to enter in secretly, slip in stealthily. All right. So that's what the apostle was saying. You know, you got guys that be brothers when the time is right, but then when they're not around, when the camera's off, it's a whole different type of guy, you know. And it says who were before old ordained to this condemnation, man. So these niggas were set up for this condemnation, man. They were going to play that part of being that guy that crept in unawares to receive his condemnation. All right. It says, ungodly men turning the grace of our power into lasciviousness. And it says, and denying the only Lord power, our Lord YAHAWASHI, you know.
I got one for you, bro.
God.
Back on that same note. Here it goes. 1 Timothy chapter 2, verse 8. Matter of fact, I started at 7. Unto you therefore which believe, he is precious. But unto them which be disobedient, the stone which the builders disallowed, the same is made the head of the corner. And that's why certain guys that are supposedly into this thing really don't believe in YAHAWASHI. You know, that's why YAHAWASHI is a stumbling block unto them, because the YAHAWASHI is not supping with them. They're not hearing his words. They're not following his examples. They're not seeing his examples in their mind. That's why he's a stumbling block unto them, right? It says, and a stone of stumbling and a rock of offense, even to them who stumble at the word, being disobedient, whereunto also they were appointed. Hey, actually, you can do me a solid, brother. Can you look up that word appointed in 1 Peter 2 and 8? You know, so they were. This is what they were appointed to. It was already set up that way. You know, it was set up for them to go off. You know, that was their lot. Every man got to play their lot. You know, you got it.
That word appointed is grab it. Is let me play it on the
Strong's G 5087. Tithemi.
Tiffany.
Tithemi.
Tiffany, which that word appointed. It says to lay off or aside, to wear or carry no longer. It says to place or lay. It says to establish or ordain. Let's see if any more points.
Yeah, to establish or ordain. Meaning they were ordained for that. You got more?
Yeah, that was it. That was the main point.
Yeah, to establish or ordain. You know, they were ordained for that, for this condemnation. They were ordained the same way that the book of Jude, you know, we were just reading. So they were ordained, they were set up, they were predestinated. This is their path that they had to walk. YAHAWASHI said, it is impossible that offenses must come, but go on to him by whom the offense comes. It was better that a millstone was hanging around his neck and that he drowned in the deepest part of the sea. You know? You got it.
Yes, Sirach 18 and 27. A wise man will fear in everything, and in the day of sinning, he will beware of offense.
Right, in the day of sinning, he will beware of offense, meaning it's going to be in his mind to beware of it. Because Brother Zab earlier read the scripture. It says a wise man knoweth when he's slipping. You know? The eloquent man, you know, the wise know when they slip.
Yeah.
You know? So in other words, you know, it's like, fuck, I fucked up. You know, you're like, shit.
Yeah.
But then you know what? You go to YAHAWASHI and then, you know, you repent. You know? But some guys, they just do whatever the hell they want to do. And the only time they'll repent, so to speak, is when somebody gets on them, or a physical man gets on them. Because they're looking at the physical, they're not looking at the spiritual.
Yeah, and pretty much when they get caught.
Yeah.
Which is not good, man. Which means, because like most people out here that do wickedness, they're doing it until they get caught. Like a murderer out here, he's not going to turn himself in. He's going to keep committing murders until he gets caught. And then when he gets caught, he wants a lawyer, he wants justice, he wants all that.
Right.
But did he, in his time of doing wickedness, did he for himself, take it upon himself to go and say, man, I'm fucking up, I should stop? No. He has no guilt because he has no fear of the Lord. You know, it's like a faggot out here, man. That's a vile act, man, to be doing stuff like that. You have no fear of the Lord. To be deporting brothers, that's wicked. You have no fear of the Lord. To do those things, to do certain things, like I was saying earlier, you have to have, you know, there's certain things you may slip up on. Like, you know, you may make a mistake here or there. We're all in the flesh. We're all men. We make mistakes. We may do something that's off. You know, but that's why, like the Day of Atonement, you know, that's why we have fasting.
Well, that's why we have grace. We have grace. The scriptures speak about grace. It speaks about the liberty. This, you know, but it says, use not your liberty as a cloak of maliciousness. Because some guys, just like when you go back to the time of the sacrifices, they'll use the sacrifices as a way to justify the actions that they're going to do when they commit these trespasses against the law. So it's the same thing today. You have men out there say, well, I got grace, so I'm going to do whatever the hell I want to do. Because all I gotta do is go back and repent to the Lord. That's why, man, that's why a nigga is the worst thing the Lord ever created, man. You know? I mean, a nigga is worse than a roach. He's worse than a rat. When I say nigga, I'm talking about all the tribes. I'm talking about Spics. I'm talking about wetbacks. I'm talking about Tontos. I'm talking about all the tribes. That's the worst thing the Lord ever created outside of these rodents, which are like a pestilence, like rats, roaches, mosquitoes, and all of that, man. You know, because what they'll do is they'll try to find angles. They'll try to find angles to get around the Lord's words. Like you're gonna outsmart the Most High. But you got to be out of your fucking mind, man.
You're the same level as Esau. Esau thinks he can win this war against the Most High. So you go and examine yourself, look in the mirror, and say, I'm an Edomite, and see how that feels. Because that's the same level of pride those niggas are coming in.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna just read that again. Sirach 18 and 27. A wise man will fear in everything, and in the day of sinning, he will beware of offense. But a fool will not observe time.
Yeah, a fool will not observe time. You have something, Ashia?
Yeah, just laying back on what you were saying. That really goes back to that pride, man. And once that pride basically consumes you, you know what I'm saying, it clouds your judgment. Next thing you know, you're leaning on your own understanding. All right, this is Sirach 3 and 24. It says, for many are deceived by their own vain opinion. You know? And so you can get those thoughts in your minds, you know, next thing you know, you're above rebuke. You can't listen to what brothers say because you got all the answers. All right. It says, for many are deceived by their own vain opinion, and an evil suspicion have overthrown their judgment, man. You know, and that's that pride. That's that I can never be wrong. You know, like I got it. You know, that's that evil suspicion that's overthrowing your judgment. You're not thinking logically. You're not rationalizing straight. You know,
you're not thinking spiritually.
Fine. Yep.
Yeah.
That was it.
Okay. All right. This is I had you got some Pastor Quala? Yeah, I had First Peter. This is 2 outside of 15. It says, for so is the will of the Most High, that with well doing ye may put to silence the ignorance of foolish men, as free and not using your liberty for a cloak of maliciousness.
Read that again from the top.
This is 1 Peter 2 and 15. For so is the will of Yahawah, that with well doing ye may put to silence the ignorance of foolish men, as free and not using your liberty for a cloak of maliciousness.
Yeah, because if people are saying negative things about us, which they are, the works that we're doing testify differently, so it puts to silence their ignorance. You know, because some people are being wicked when what they're saying. They're bearing false witness. They're telling lies. You know, but you got people out there that are just ignorant and repeating what they heard somebody else say, which for the most part, that's pretty much what's going on. But when they see the works that we do through the Spirit of YAHAWASHI, it puts to silence that ignorance. You know, because they're like, damn, people are saying this and that about it. I said the same thing, but I see something totally different. You know, that's what it's good to speak about, having your conversation honest among the Gentiles, meaning the Israelite foreigners. You know, it speaks about doing these works so that the people can give praise to the Most High by you doing these good works. Because the good works are being seen by the Most High, YAHAWASHI, and they're also being seen by men out here. You know? So they like, all right, well, people are saying this about him, but I don't know. All I see is a total difference. Like with YAHAWASHI. You know, people are saying, man, some people are saying that YAHAWASHI is the devil, but the devil can't do these great works that this man is doing.
Right.
You know? So they have to rethink. Because you actually have people out there that the Lord is dealing with that are actually seeing past the bullshit that they're talking about us. You know, past the lies that they're saying about it, past the false accusations that they're bringing against us. You actually have people out there that are seeing beyond that. And they're seeing a different tale than what's being told. You know?
Right. That's why actions is very, very important. You know, you could say a lot. It's exactly what the apostle is saying. We could watch GMS videos all day, man. But if you're outside the flock and you're looking at, you're looking at the apostles, and then when camp is over, you see, the apostle over here doing all types of wickedness. You're gonna be like, what's going on? Their works show through, what the type of people that they are. Their works is key.
Yeah, and it's not just us. You got the different brothers in the different camps, whether they be the heads of the camp or whether they just newly came into the camp. It's the works and the way you present yourself, and the way you walk in this truth. The way you conduct yourself around these people. Because you got to remember, whatever we do reflects back on what we believe in. It reflects back on the truth. It reflects back on the brotherhood, on the body. So when you're out there, you have to conduct yourself in a certain manner. You can't just do whatever you want to do. You know? And that's key, man. Because the brotherhood, you got to set the business community. And you got a lot of guys that use the brotherhood, but don't live and love the brotherhood. The scripture that we started with earlier, actually y'all just read about if you don't have charity, charity is love, which is brotherly love. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the word charity there, if I'm not mistaken, is agape. If I'm not mistaken. I mean, it could be a different word, but I believe it's the word agape in the Greek. But there's different words for love in the Greek, but I just remember that one off the top. You got it right there more?
Yeah, that says, fear Yahawah, honor the king.
Right. Fear Yahawah and honor the king. All right, so you got that in Titus? Yeah, because the brother Habakkuk something 3 or something, I believe it is. The brother just put up that somebody saying something skipping.
It was for a second. It got back normal.
Right here. Holding firm unto the end. Hebrews 3 and 6. Salaki. Yeah, he's the one. They're saying that the stream is messing up. Okay, just refresh. Every time the stream messes up, just refresh, man. Just refresh the page. You got it right.
This is Titus 2, verse 7. And all things shewing thyself.
Read above that. Start at 5. Let's see what that says.
Titus 2 and 5. To be discreet, chaste, keepers at home, good, obedient to their own husbands, that the word of the Most High be not blasphemed.
Go ahead.
Young men likewise exhort to be sober-minded, and all things showing thyself a pattern of good works.
Yeah, and all things showing thyself a pattern of good works. But BAHASHAM, brother, can you look up the word pattern? And second, what is that? 2 Thessalonians 2 and 6?
This is Titus 2 and 7.
It's Titus 2 and 7. Read that again.
9. I'll start from 6 again. Titus 2 and 6. Young men likewise exhort to be sober-minded, and all things showing thyself a pattern of good works, and doctrine showing uncorruptness, gravity, and sincerity.
Right, showing uncorruptness. Read that again. There's a lot of meat in that.
Titus 2 and 7. And all things showing thyself a pattern of good works.
Showing us thyself a pattern of good works. Not just do the work one time and that's it. Showing a pattern of good works. Meaning an example. The scripture uses example, ensample, something that you do it all the time, not just one time or 2 times. It's something that you're doing consistently. Right. Exactly. Right.
And doctrine showing uncorruptness.
Right, and doctrine showing uncorruptness. Not strayed from the truth, not straying away from the breakdown, doing your own thing because you feel that that's the way it should be. And then when the scriptures tell you that there's some that shall, the Spirit speaketh expressly, that in the latter time some shall depart from the faith, giving the spirits and doctors of devils. Go ahead.
And doctrine showing uncorruptness, gravity, and sincerity, sound speech.
Right, sound speech, go ahead.
sound speech that cannot be condemned.
Sound speech that cannot be condemned. So no matter what they can say what they want to say, but when they see the examples, it's a different it's different than what they're saying. You know, you got it up. I should know.
All right, now
Pattern, yeah.
all right, that Greek pattern is it says the mark of a stroke. I'm gonna jump down. It says the teaching which embodies the sum and substance of religion and represents it to the mind, manner of writing, the context in form of a letter. It says, keep going so long. It says, in a technical sense, the pattern and conformity to which a thing must be made.
Right. If you have a pattern, like when you go into what's that called, a factory. You know, when you have an assembly line in a factory, if you have a product, there's a certain pattern that they use to mold whatever it is, whether it's plastic, whether it's metal, whatever it is. They have a certain pattern that you have to follow in order to get the product that you want every single time. So this truth is like that. So the pattern that you have to show is a constant pattern. It's like an assembly line of patterns. It's not one or two things, and when people ain't looking, you just doing whatever the hell you want to do. No, it's a consistent assembly line of patterns of righteousness, of doing the work.
That's right.
You know, of abiding in the work.
And if you do go ahead and do your own thing outside of that pattern, like for instance, if you have like KFC chicken or any one of these chains, they make the same thing over and over. If you go there and you order your favorite thing and it's not tasting like you would know. So it's the same thing. Like if you come around a brother and he's not in the spirit of the Lord, brothers are gonna catch up to that, man. You're gonna start to feel like, nah, man, something's not right. This ain't the pattern that's been set forth. This is the example that's being put forward by our elders, by our apostles, because this is what we're looking for. Because we're all striving under one banner, which is the banner of YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI. So if you order not under that banner, brothers who are sincere are going to pick up on that, man. You know, we're going to know now, man, that pattern is off. It's something not right. You know, so something like that is going to cause us now, because the Most High, if you're doing that, it means you're now outside the umbrella of the Lord, and the Lord is a jealous power. The Lord hates that, man. He doesn't like that, the fact that you're going off. He doesn't like that. And he's gonna, like we already established, based on your level of seniority in this thing, you're gonna receive different levels of judgment. This is how it gets down. Okay, so we hate the things that you're doing because the Lord hates it. Right. And you're doing this outside the spirit. And right now, the spirit of the Lord is angry, man.
That's right.
This place is fucking demonic as hell. All these pestilence that's coming to America, that's going to the Caribbean, these tempests, these storms. Why do you think the Lord's doing that? Because he's happy? Because he's mad. So why would you want to tempt the Lord in a time like this? Man, that's foolish. And we men who are really into this right now, we're all mad, man. It's vexing to be in slavery. It's vexing to be in Babylon. It's not, and we don't have fun getting up every day, man. We just don't. You know? So we hate what the Lord hates, and which we do with a perfect hatred. It's like the Lord hates. When we go on the highways and the byways, we're condemning the 2/3 of our nation and all the other nations. Esau being the main adversary. So if you're coming in that spirit, what do you think you're gonna get from men who are the spirit of the Lord? We're gonna hate you, man. We hate niggas.
I got a precept.
Go ahead, bro.
I'm not sure if y'all brought this out. This is Amos 5:14. Seek good and not evil, that ye may live. And so the Lord, the power of hosts, shall be with you, as ye have spoken. Hate the evil and love the good.
Hate the evil and love the good. So if you're coming in an evil spirit, We're in the spirit of the Lord. The spirit of the Lord is the word. The word says hate the evil. We're going to follow suit. Okay? So that just comes with the territory, man.
God.
If you're a soldier and you've been deployed to war, you're not going to try to make friends. And we're soldiers, good heart soldiers of YAHAWASHI and YAHAWASHI. Go ahead, Kasha.
This is Psalms 139:21. Do I hate them? 20, gone. This is Psalm 139:20. For thy speak against thee wickedly, and thine enemies take thy name in vain. Do not I hate them, O Yahweh, BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, that hate thee? And am not I grieved with those that rise up against thee?
Yeah, read one more time about that.
Yeah. I'll start at 20 again. Psalm 139:20. For they speak against thee wickedly, and thy enemies take thy name in vain. That includes you 2/3. Do not I hate them? Do not I hate them, O Yahweh BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, that hate thee? And ultimately, ones that hate Yahweh BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI are those hypocrites, like we've been going into. Ones who purposely don't, keep the commandments or keep the law, even though they know about it. Is it more of the circumcision? The heathens. Okay. I hate them. And I agree with those that rise against them. I hate them with the perfect hatred. The brother said that just earlier. We hate everything YAHAWASHI hates in the perfect hatred, man. I count them my enemies, and anybody who is against YAHAWASHI is an enemy. Like the brother was saying, if you're going over to Iraq, if a soldier's going to Iraq, they're not going to sit there and try to delegate or come up, with a plan with the so-called Taliban. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to happen. They're going to hate them just as much as they hate them, as their opposing force hates them.
Yeah, they're going to come to just do them harm. Scripture also said, never trust thine enemy, which the scripture just said. If you read it again, talk about the last part.
Verse 22, Psalm 139:22. I hate them with perfect hatred. I count them my enemies.
Count them as your enemies. So now you're being counted as an enemy because why? Because you're adverse to YAHAWASHI YAHAWASHI. Now, scripture said, don't trust thy enemies. So now we don't trust you on top of hating you. So you ain't got shit. You're all the way. You're blocked. Yeah. You're blocked off.
Hey, because the Lord said He resisted the proud, but He gave the grace to the lowly. You got it. You got it on that.
When we go back to Titus.
Yeah, finish up there, but we got a precept that Apostle Tara just put up, because that's really because Yahweh. I was trying to get my thoughts back. Yahweh said this: if you love me, keep my commandments. So now, what was the commandments of the Lord? He told Peter, if thou lovest me, feed my sheep and feed my lamb. Right? So you're not going to feed the sheep and the lamb cotton candy and candy corn and stuff like that. Why? Because that stuff is not good for those animals. It's going to make them sick, and in turn, when you eat those animals, it's going to make you sick.
Right.
So if you're going to feed the sheep, you got to feed them with things that are healthy. That's what the scriptures always think about: sound doctrine, keeping sound doctrine. Keeping the things that you have learned and have been assured of, one of whom that has learned it from.
God, this is expounding on what you were just saying. This is Titus 1:9, holding fast the faithful words as he hath been taught, that he may be able to, by sound doctrine, both to exhort and to convince the gainsayers.
Right, by sound doctrine, to exhort and to convince the gainsayers. So we have to stay on that path. We have to stay on continually teach what we've been taught through the Spirit. Because we can't just switch it up just because somebody out there doesn't like the truth. You know, we're not out here to conform or to sugarcoat something just because somebody out there don't like it. The hell with these people. If they don't like it, they're too tough. You know, too bad.
Change the channel.
Right. 2 tears in the bucket. You know the rest.
Okay. That's Ephesians 4:1. I therefore, the prisoner of the Lord, beseech you that ye walk worthy of the vocation wherewith ye are called.
Read that again.
God. I therefore, the prisoner of the Lord.
Because we're prisoners to this thing. The Lord called us into this thing to be prisoners. You know, we're bound in chains in this truth to YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI. You know, we can't just go and just do whatever the hell we want to do. If you're in a prison house, you know, if you're locked up somewhere, you got to eat when the warden or when the people that tell you to eat. You got to move about when they tell you to move about. You can't just go out. You know what? I feel like going for a run right now. I'm just gonna get out my cell and go for a run. You know, I feel like having me a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, so I'm gonna make you a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. You got to do everything according to their time frame and according to when they set everything up. So the same thing with the truth. We're prisoners, fellow laborers, fellow prisoners in this truth. You know. Go ahead, brother.
God.
That's why it says, read that again.
It says, Ephesians 4:1. I therefore, the prisoner of the Lord, beseech you that you walk worthy of the vocation wherewith ye are called.
Right, that you walk worthy with the vocation where you were called. Why? Because if you don't walk worthy of the vocation where you're called, the Lord's going to spew you out of his mouth. He can't use a dude that thinks that just because a demon jumped on him, that this breakdown should be this way. The Lord, he can't deal with a guy like that. You know, you gotta teach the word the way it's been taught to you. You can't just turn the shit around just because I don't like the way that sounds. So I'm gonna make it my own thing so that people can look at me and say, "Wow, this great person here, he is getting all kind of revelations." You know, that's vainglory. Go ahead.
Beseech you that ye walk worthy.
I beseech you, meaning I beg you. Go ahead.
That ye walk worthy of the vocation wherewith ye are called.
Right, that you walk worthy of the vocation where you are called. Because there's a certain way that this doctrine was taught. That's what the scriptures say about the disciples. The Lord said that I pray not for these only, but for them which shall believe on me through their word. Because they were going to continue to teach the things that YAHAWASHI taught. They weren't going to come out of their own head and just start teaching something else. You had something last year?
Yeah, and that word sound is it says true and incorrupt doctrine.
True and what?
True and incorrupt doctrine.
Right, true and incorrupt doctrine. There's a doctrine, man. You guys didn't wake up to this thing one day and just knew, that you were Israelites, knew how to break the scriptures down. You have to have teachers to teach you. But now all of a sudden, because you got a little too big for your britches, now you're going to show everybody how it's supposed to be done. You know?
Got a precept.
Yeah, we don't get hold on to those. Yeah, because he put the 3rd and 4th verse at the time.
Yeah. With all lowliness and meekness, with long suffering, forbearing one another in love, endeavoring to keep the unity of the Spirit.
That's the point, endeavoring to keep the unity of the Spirit. Now, that's why Paul was so hard on the different churches. Because you had the different churches, and after they all taught the truth, they started changing. Some of them started good and women teach, some of them started teaching, some of them started and some of them they say it's so that's what it's supposed to be, the devil to keep the unity of the faith, because this thing is something that the Lord taught. This doctrine was something that was set up before we were even alive. So now that it's coming back full circle, so to speak, we have to keep the same thing and the same teachings that we were taught. You got
it says in the bond I'll start from 3. Endeavoring to keep the unity of the Spirit in the bond of peace.
Right, and the bond of peace, because this what we're teaching is what brought peace between the Most High and ourselves through the blood of YAHAWASHI. This is the same doctrine YAHAWASHI taught back then, you know? And he gave the Apostle Paul great understanding, great wisdom, great knowledge, you know? And that's why he was able to teach the things that he was teaching. But we're supposed to continue on in those things. Not supposed to deviate from it just because, you know, you want to make a name for yourself. What happened to, what was his name? Jonathan? He tried to make a name for himself. He was one of the Maccabees. He tried to make a name for himself, but what happened? He ended up getting killed. Because he just wanted to know, oh, my brother, he got this great name, so I'm going to make a name for myself. You see that big-ass elephant? I guarantee you the king is on it. So I'm going to kill this elephant here, and then we're going to get the king, and then it's going to be known that I did this, you know? And what happened? He slew the elephant, and the elephant fell on top of him and killed him. Why? Because he wanted to make a name for himself. See, guys read stuff like that, and they're just like, oh yeah, that's just the history, that's just a story. No, you got to find out what the moral of that story is. The moral of that story is don't try to exalt yourself because the Lord will exalt you in due time, when it's time.
Verse 4, there is one body and one spirit, even as ye are called, and one hope of your calling.
Right, there's one body and one spirit, even as you are called in one body. There's only one body in this thing. There's only one truth, you know? There's only one truth, you know? And we here at Great Millstone have that one truth through the spirit and power of YAHAWASHI.
That's right.
You know? And that's why the Lord set us up to set the precedence, so to speak, on how this word should be taught. The guys out there, instead of bucking up against this thing, they really should listen and take heed and take notes and learn and buckle up and buckle down so that they can be delivered.
Hey, this is a precept from the brother Ataz GMS Quick and Powerful. This is Acts 2:42. And they continued steadfastly in the apostles' doctrine and fellowship.
No, wait a minute. Did that say that they continued?
Gone.
It sure don't say that, and thus Decimus and Iridius came to the conclusion that the apostles' doctrine was flawed, and they added their own understanding to it and gave the sense to the people. It don't say that. You're not going to find that in there. The guys that did that were false prophets. The guys that did that were false brethren. You know, that got tired of following behind after the truth, and they started doing their own thing.
That's a little bit more. Yeah. And they
we gotta go to the mother.
Yeah, we got Acts 2:42, and they continue steadfastly in the apostles' doctrine and fellowship, and in breaking of bread and in prayers.
Right, and that's what the name of this lesson is. We hate what the Lord hates. The Lord hates that, man. There's a reason why the Lord said, you know, set up the men that he set up to teach the doctrine that they taught, and to have, and to have men follow behind that doctrine. You can't be just adding whatever the hell you want to add to this knowledge. It don't work like that, you know.
I got that from
okay, bring that up here.
Yeah. All right. It's like Proverbs 29:9. Oh, it's like
Psalms 28:9.
Okay.
You got it.
Yeah, this is Psalms 28:9. It says, "Save thy people and bless thy inheritance. Feed them also and lift them up forever."
Right. Now somebody get Jeremiah 3:15. Because you're supposed to feed the people. You can't just do what you want to do, man. This ain't your thing. You know? You didn't come up with this doctrine. You didn't come up with this truth. You know? So either two things. You either shake up or shit the hell out, man. You know? Because the Lord ain't dealing with clowns that want to do things their own way. You know? There's a I don't even like to use the word curriculum, but there's a way that this truth is supposed to be taught, and a way that this truth is supposed to be followed. Scripture said that all things be done decently and in order. The order was already given. The doctrine was already given. The vocation or the calling was already given. You know, all you got to do is continue on with the things that you've learned. There's a reason why all the scriptures just speak about continuing in the doctrine. You know, there's a reason why the scriptures just speak about being rooted and built up. You know, there's a reason why the scriptures speak about pretty much digging yourself in. You know, and when all these winds and all these different things come to pass, they don't blow you away. Because a lot of guys are being taken out of this thing because they're not grounded in this truth. You know, and that's why the slightest wind blows, and what happens? They get caught up in it. Somebody can get Colossians 2:8. But what's the other scripture I just called?
Jeremiah 3:15.
Okay, and then there was another precept there.
Probably 10.
You got that? All right, go ahead.
Jeremiah 3:15. And I will give you pastors according to mine heart. Which
Right, and I will give you pastors according to, what does that mean? Pastors according to the Most High's heart. Meaning men that are going to lead you according to the mind of YAHAWASHI YAHAWASHI. Because there is a truth. There is one truth. There is one doctrine. There is one faith. You know, there's not two. There's not one over here and then, okay, this guy over here, he got the other truth. No, there's one truth. That's what the scriptures speak about, another Jesus. You know? Why? Because there's different forms. I think the brother got dropped off the call. There's different there's only one way, but you have guys that are crept unaware, that are spies, that are just straight up demons and hypocrites that want to change, you know, this truth. It doesn't work like that. Okay, you can bring that out. Yeah, 2:8. Yeah, continue on there. No, hold on to that one. We'll get to it.
Jeremiah 3:15. And I will give you pastors according to mine heart,
Yep.
which shall feed you with knowledge and understanding.
Right, which shall feed you with knowledge and understanding, you know? And the Lord set up men to teach other men, man. You know? There's not an instance where the disciples are set up to teach the word and then they just say, you know what? The hell with y'all, I'm gonna break off and do my own thing. I'm gonna go teach them. You know? It don't work like that. You know, the Most High and YAHAWASHI already set the precedence. You know, you just gotta be.
Check.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're back.
Hey man, Barak YAHAWASHI YAHAWASHI, man, sometimes things would just be so simple, you know? Some things be so simple. The spirit just said, just go over to the microphone, tap the microphone, turn it off, turn it back on.
Yeah.
You know, hey man, the spirit is bad, brother. I'm pretty sure y'all can hear it now. All right. No, it wasn't no cable, brother. It was just saying got so mad he pulled the plug on him. You know, no, it was you know, it just them. Hey, the prince of the power of the air is mad because the word is going out. You know, we gotta go back because I lost my train of thought.
I got Colossians 2:8.
All right, what was the last thing we read?
It was Jeremiah 3:15.
Read that again,
Okay.
and then we're gonna go here, Colossians 2:8.
Jeremiah,
Hebrews 13:9.
Jeremiah 3:15. And I will give you pastors according to my heart, which shall feed you with knowledge and understanding.
Right, and that's what the pastor of the Lord's heart is going to do. They're going to feed you with knowledge and understanding, you know? And the bottom line is, it don't matter what these other guys, these other demons try to do to stop this work. You're not going to stop the work that YAHAWASHI YAHAWASHI set up, you know? The scriptures tell you, somebody, read real quick, Acts 5:38. You know, This work is not of men. This work is of YAHAWASHI. There's a higher power that is conducting this truth. There's a higher power that's building this thing up. There's a higher power that's guiding and driving this force. You know, there's a higher power that got men out here moving forward and teaching the word and continuing on in the word. You know, you can't stop it. It's too high power. It's too high power. You got it up.
This is Acts 5:38. And now I say unto you, refrain from these men and let them alone. For it is for if this counsel or this work be of men, it will come to naught.
Right. If this counsel of this work be of men, it will come to naught. But it's not of men, and that's the point. Go ahead.
But if it be of the Most High, ye cannot overthrow it.
Right. If it be of the Most High, you cannot overthrow it. You know that old saying, your hands are too short to box with God. You know, it's the truth. You can't box with the Most High, man. You can't stop the Lord's work. You know, this thing is in motion, man. This thing is moving forward. You know, and you can't stop it. I'm just trying to see if I can get the brother back on. You got it up.
But verse 39. But if it be of the Most High, ye cannot overthrow it.
Right, but if it be of the Most High, you cannot overthrow it. Go ahead.
Lest haply ye be found even to fight against the Most High.
Come. So if you can't fight against the Most High.
No.
So if you can't fight against the Most High, you can't stop His truth. You know.
Well, yeah, this truth is the word of the Lord.
Right.
So what you gonna do? You know, and all the shit that y'all talk about us, you know, that's another thing Scripture talk about, man. We're built for that. You know, Scripture, you know, we put that in Matthew 5. You know, you should be happy when people that people talk.
This thing is in motion, man. This thing is moving forward. You know, and you can't stop it.
Hey, turn the volume down.
Got it right. Turn the volume down on your computer. Right, but if it be of the Most High, you cannot overthrow it. Go ahead. Now he got it. It's just on the lid. Go ahead, you got it.
I got to put 3 steps.
All right, go ahead.
You know, if it's of the Most High, you can't overthrow it. You know, ultimately, that's just truth as well. You know what I'm saying? This is 1 Ezra, chapter 4, verse 38. As for the truth, it endureth.
Right. As for the truth, it endureth. Go ahead.
It is always strong.
And it's always strong. Why? Because it's guided by YAHAWASHI, not by man. You got to get that out of your head. It's not guided by man. It's guided by YAHAWASHI. And there is an order set up for this thing to be taught. Matter of fact, I'm going to read 2 precepts before you read on. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 40. It says, let all things be done decently and in order. So everything's supposed to be done decently and in order. There's an order set up, you know, and there's a reason why there's an order set up. You know, that's why the Lord, just like the Apostle Peter and the other apostles set up a men of good report, you know, to officiate the business of the table between the Jews and the Israelites that spoke the Grecian language, you know, or the Greek language. That's the same thing the Lord is doing right now. He's setting up men to teach His word that are going to be faithful to teach the word and not deviate from it, no matter for what, for women, for money, for none of that.
That's right.
You know, this is John 17 and 20. Neither pray I for these alone, but for them also which shall believe on me through their word. You know, so there everything is already set up. Colossians 2:8.
Yeah, it's Colossians 2:8. Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit.
Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit. You know, because that's what happens. Guys get into this thing, they start learning the breakdowns, then they start going back over scriptures and stuff, and then those seducing spirits get in their mind, and all of a sudden it's a different breakdown now. You know, oh no, you broke that down wrong. You know, here it is, you was a snotty-nosed, punk-ass little kid, you know, like Roscoe from Martin, with boogers hanging out your nose and shit stains in your drawers, but now all of a sudden you're this great guru, man. And when not too long ago, you just came out of diapers, man. You know? Stop being a badass kid, man. You know? Little mother. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, brother.
Colossians 2 and 8. Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit.
Right, it says, beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit. You know, if you have milk, which you shouldn't be drinking milk anyway, but if you have milk and you leave it out and you don't refrigerate it, it's going to get spoiled. It's going to get curdled. You know, it's going to be no good. You know? So, with the same thing with this truth. You know, if you have men that are teaching the truth and then you're being influenced by outside things, you know, it's going to spoil the truth. You know? So it says, beware. You know? Don't be... read it again, BAHASHAM.
Colossians 2 and 8. Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit, after the traditions of men, after the rudiments of the world, and not after YAHAWASHI.
Right, after the rudiments of the world and not after YAHAWASHI. That's why the Apostle Paul made it such a strict order, he made it such a strict order to continue in the things which thou hast learned has been short of. You know why? Because there were going to be outside influences, these different winds of doctrines that were going to come and sway you away from the truth. You know, and matter of fact, somebody get Matthew real quick. Matthew 16 and 18, the Apostle have put together. Because the Lord set up an order, man. He set up the order. You got it? Read that.
It says Matthew 16 and 18. It says, and I shall say also unto thee that thou art Peter, and upon this rock I will build my church.
Right. So did YAHAWASHI say thou art Peter, upon this rock I'm gonna build my church, but I got another cat down the road that I'm gonna give the authority to override you whenever I see fit. No, man. The Lord set this thing up, man. That's why we read it. If this work of this counsel be of men, it will come to naught. You know how many times people have said to us that, you know, what you're doing, you're not going to be on the streets, you ain't going to be doing this, you ain't going to be doing the other. And them clowns ain't around no more. Them comfy clowns, the comfettes. We used to call them the comfettes. You know, there's one big fat Dominican dude, you know, talking about, you know, come such and such a year, y'all not going to be out there in the streets no more. Watch. And where that nigga at now? He's out there bugged out somewhere. So he's at the spit back in the world, driving cabs. You know? So much for his bullshit. Because this work is not of men. This work is of YAHAWASHI. And that's not a boastful thing, it's the truth. There's a difference between telling the truth and being boastful. You know? We're not conceited, we're confident. With a T at the end, dent.
Yeah. It says, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against it.
Right, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against it. Not even the Illuminati can stop this. You know? Because that's the gates of hell, the international bankers. That's why they're trying so hard to send these flunkies like what's that clown's name? The rapping fool, the unwrapping fool.
Which one is that?
What the hell is that guy's name? You know them devils that James White, the Edomite, and vocab, no class alone. You know, yeah. You dudes is bugged out, man. And then you got Jesus is the word. You got all these different clowns out there that have tried to stop this word. You can't stop the word. The Most High hates you clowns.
Yeah.
You know. First of all, y'all Edomites. Yes. First and foremost, you know, you better hope that y'all Israelites, but y'all are Edomites. First and foremost, the Most High hates you. So what you're doing is no wonder that you're doing what you're doing. because the Most High is going to destroy you devils, man. So you're only doing what the Most High is allowing you to do, you know. But you're not going. You're only going to go but so far. Damn devils.
Yeah, because men with the spirit see.
Did you have something like that?
No, I'm waiting.
Okay, that was it on that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if you got something, bring it up, brother.
God, all right. You know, you were speaking earlier about being consistent, right? Having the consistency. What was the word we looked up? The
Pattern.
The pattern. God, I wanted to add on to that as well. This is 1 Thessalonians, and I'm gonna start at verse 2. All right, so it's 1 Thessalonians verse 2. It says, we give thanks to God always for you all, making mention of you in our prayers.
Mm-hmm.
The point, verse 3, it says, remembering without ceasing your work of faith. All right, and that word work in the Greek is argon, which is business, employment, that which is occupied, which is this doctrine, which is a sound doctrine. So it says, remembering without ceasing your work of faith and labor of love and patience of hope in our Lord YAHAWASHI, in the sight of God our Father. So just going back to the consistency, without ceasing in the work of the faith, which is the business, which the business consists of the sound doctrine and teaching the word the right way, and the things that come along with that,
So you got that? Yeah, that scripture the brother just put. I forget the brother's name. The brother Manat Zakba from South Carolina. You got it.
It says Luke 21:15. For I will give you a mouth and wisdom, which all your adversaries shall not be able to gainsay nor resist.
That's right. So this word is going out, man. Okay, that brother just put the one brother asked for a scripture, and another brother put it up. Can somebody get that?
Yeah. Which one is it?
The justice for Judah. The brother before him had asked a question, and the brother found the scripture. The brother YAHAWASHI Ban Yasha'ala asked the scripture, and the brother justice for Judah, 1 Timothy 2:13. That's a damn good scripture.
It says 1 Timothy 2:13. 2:13. But the second, for Adam was first born.
No.
Was first born.
It's 1 Thessalonians. Did I say Timothy?
Yeah.
It's a lie. 1 Thessalonians 2:13. My bad. But that's a damn good scripture. And that's the truth, man. This thing was set up by the Lord YAHAWASHI. He set up men to do this, man. He set up men to teach his word. That's what the scripture speak about. You have to have a teacher. When the Ethiopian eunuch was reading the scripture, he didn't when Philip came to him, he didn't say when Philip said right, he said Philip said, understand thou what thou readest? Hold up. I don't know who you are, but hold up, I got this. Because Philip would have been like, all right, he would have kept going. He said, how can I unless a man teach me?
You have to be taught.
And it was heavy that the man that actually taught him was a disciple or an apostle of YAHAWASHI. He didn't buck up and act like he knew everything of the scriptures. And then he said, with the question he said, of whom speaketh he this, of himself or of another? And they said that Philip started at that same scripture and he started preaching to him YAHAWASHI.
13.
Yeah.
There's 1 Thessalonians 2:13. For this cause also thank we Yahweh without ceasing, because when he received the word of the Most High, which he heard of us, he received it not as the word of men, but as it is in truth the word of Yahweh, which
you know what? Sorry, bro. Started at 9, right?
This is 1 Thessalonians 2:9. It says, for he remember, brethren, our labor and travail, for laboring night and day, because we would not be chargeable unto any of you. We preached unto you the gospel of the Most High.
And then there was clowns that actually tried to teach different than what Paul was teaching. But you know what? He put curses on them. He actually put curses on them guys that try to teach different, that try to overthrow the faith of brothers. And that's what's happening. You got these clowns that used to follow Great Millstone. Then they fell off, and now they turning the doctrine around. They teaching all kind of madness, you know? And the Lord is going to deal with every last one of you clowns, man. Like the Apostle Carl did a video, I believe it was earlier today or yesterday, I'm not sure exactly when it was, and he said that the Lord is going to destroy all of you that are trying to confuse the people of the Lord, man.
Right.
The Lord's going to get every last one of you clowns, man. Go ahead up.
All right.
Yeah, after this, actually, you got something, brother.
No, I'm good.
Go ahead,
Okay. It says, verse 10, ye are witnesses, and Yahawah also, how holy and justly and unblamely we behave ourselves among you that believe.
Right, because they taught the right doctrine, and they weren't being wicked among the brothers. You know, they wasn't acting one way off camera, or they didn't have cameras there, but they did have a camera, the Most High and the angel. You know, I mean, but they weren't acting one way in front of the brothers, and they acted a different way when they weren't around. You know, ripping brothers off and doing having sex with brothers, women, and all that bullshit. Right? And the Most High gonna deal with all you guys that's doing that, man. You guys that's using the truth, and then you are coming in some other way, and you are trying to play the Most High cheap and trying to use the word for your benefit so that you can get goodies, so to speak. Most High gonna deal with all of you clowns, man.
That's right.
Go ahead up.
It says 11, as ye know how we exhort and comforted and charge every one of you as a father doeth his children.
Right, so what does he mean by he charged every one of you as a father doeth his children? He charged him to continue in the faith. Get Acts 20 and 28. He charged him to continue on in the faith. He charged him not to change the doctrine. He charged him and told him that there was going to be situations where you're going to have certain men that you even learned under that came and turned this grace that you're receiving into a different doctrine, to another doctrine. Somebody get Galatians 1 and 6. Go ahead.
Acts 20, verse 28. Take heed, therefore, unto yourselves and to
Speak up a little louder.
This is Acts 20, verse 28. Take heed, therefore, unto yourselves and to all the flock over the which the Holy Spirit hath made you overseers, to feed the church of the Most High, Yahawah, which he had purchased with his own blood.
Read it again. I'm sorry, brother.
This is Acts 20, verse 28. Take heed, therefore, unto yourselves and to all the flock over the which the Holy Spirit hath made you overseers.
The Lord made us overseer over the flock, you know, and you guys out there that push it down with some more. Yeah. And you guys out there that receive this truth, you also are set up to watch over the flock. So it said, take heed. What does it mean by take heed? Meaning be careful of what you're doing and what you're teaching, because the Lord gave you this precious gift, and the Spirit of the Lord is going to require at your hands if you come in a different way, in a different manner, with a different doctrine, in a different way. Go ahead.
Over the which
Get also First Timothy 4:1. Go ahead up.
over the which the Holy Spirit hath made you overseers to feed the church of the Most High, which he hath purchased with his own blood. For I know this, that after my departing.
See, so the Apostle Paul said, I know this, that after my departing, after I leave from among you, you know, go ahead.
Shall grievous wolves enter in among you.
There are going to be grievous wolves that enter in among you. There's certain men that's crept in unawares. So these wolves that's going to creep in among you, what you think they're going to do? They're going to turn the doctrine around. Why? Because they got Satan on them. You know, they got demons on them. And they're going to turn the doctrine around to pull you away from what you first learned, your first love, and what was given to you for you to be sealed and saved with. Go ahead.
For I know this, that after my departing shall grievous wolves enter in among you.
Go ahead.
Not sparing the flock.
Not sparing the flock. You see? Go ahead.
I got a quick.
All right, go ahead, go ahead.
This is Matthew chapter 10, verse 16. Behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves.
Right, and then YAHAWASHI said it. I send you forth as sheep among wolves. You know, and the sheep is like what's the word that I'm looking for? Like a docile animal. You know, in the midst of all these different wolves, because the sheep is not looking to be taken over by these wolves. Just like when you learn this truth, you know, you're not not considering, but you're not
Your guard is down.
Yeah, your guard is down, which your guard should be up. But what I'm saying is, you know, when you come as a sheep, you're not looking for a guy, especially when you come into the truth, because you think brothers are supposed to be brothers. You're not looking for a man to stab you in the back or to change of doctrine or to be trying to pull you away from the knowledge.
Right.
You know, that's how a sheep comes. That's what YAHAWASHI said. I'm sorry, that's a different example, but you know, you're not supposed to be Salakia. You know, you when you come as a sheep, you're not expecting a guy to take advantage of you.
Right. Yeah.
So many words.
As a sheep, you're not coming to this brotherhood looking for men to be butchers. They're looking for men to be shepherds. Okay, so it's a difference. You're coming very humbly, very meek. You know, you don't have much defense. Your really hope of defense is those shepherds around you. They're going to keep you away from all these wolves. But if you're coming around men and they're really butchers, they're just going to shave off. You know, take your fur, so like shave you and then cut your throat. That's not what you're looking for. And even if that does happen to you, you have no way of really protecting yourself because you're a sheep. Really, you know, sheep are not the animals that are built to defend themselves. They have to be taken care of.
Can I get a quick precept? Yeah. This is Jeremiah chapter 23, verse 4. And I will set up shepherds over them, which shall feed them. This is kind of what we're going at in Jeremiah 3:15. And I will set up shepherds over them, which shall feed them, and they shall fear no more, nor be dismayed, neither shall they be lacking.
Yeah, shepherds feed. All right, and it says the sheep won't be lacking. All right, so you know, as a leader's job is to feed the flock. As a leader, you're supposed to feed your sheep, man.
Sure.
All right.
Like the apostle said, you're not going to feed the sheep candy corn and all types of other bullshit, but you got to give them what's good for them. Okay. And what's good for us right now is the wisdom and understanding of this book.
Yeah, because the Lord hates that. Like the name of the title of the lesson, we hate what the Lord hates.
Right.
You know? And then the closer we get to the end, the more these things are going to be made manifest. That's why you got these demons on overtime, you know, and they really believe in their mind that they're doing the right thing, you know, and they're not, because they have those deceptive spirits, those seducing spirits on them that's making them do this, you know. But that's all right, because everybody got to fulfill their position. Everybody got to fulfill their lot, you know. Y'all got it.
I got a quick
Election.
All right. Okay, cool. So what the apostle was saying, man, because ultimately, you know, those men have an evil lying spirit on them. And I'm gonna get a quick account on that. This is 1 Kings chapter 22, verse 19. And he said, hear thou therefore the word of the Lord, YAHAWASHI. I saw Yahweh sitting on his throne, and all the hosts of heaven standing by him on his right hand and on his left hand. And Yahweh said, who shall persuade Ahab that he may go up and fall at Ramoth Gilead, and one said on this manner, and another said on that manner. So the great. Verse 21. And there came forth a spirit and stood before Yahweh and said, I will persuade him. And Yahweh said unto him, wherewith? And he said, I will go forth, and I will be a lying spirit in the mouth of all his prophets. And he said, thou shalt persuade him, and prevail also, go forth and do so. So YAHAWASHI puts that lying, evil spirit on certain particular men. You know what I'm saying? That's why also he said you're a sheep among wolves. You know what I'm saying?
So he's going to create the sheep and the wolves.
I got some real quick, you can cover everybody there. Ezekiel 14:9. And if the prophet be deceived when he has spoken a thing, I, the Lord, have deceived that prophet. You know, like the scriptures say, the deceived and the deceiver are haters. Y'all got it.
That's precept.
Yeah, man.
If I can say,
Yeah.
that's also goes into Proverbs 16:4, because he made the wicked as well.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? For the day of evil.
Right.
You know, and evil goes back to bad times. It's also bad times in Babylon. So you're gonna have the wicked in the day of evil now as well. And those are those men with a lying spirit, a lying tongue, defrauding, deceiving, all that in the 9 yards under the sun. That's wicked.
Which goes back to the premise of the Lord hates that.
Correct.
So we hate that. We're in the same spirit. We have to be in that spirit. We're in the last of the last days. So it's not a time for us to be, taking our foot off the gas. We see this, we're on your ass. Yeah, that's what it is. We have to protect the sheep. We have to come in the spirit of YAHAWASHI. And in order to do that, man, we have to hate these things. You can't be out here doing all sorts of wickedness and expect brothers to just give you a pass. It doesn't work like that.
If I can expound what the brother is saying, as times are, quickening, obviously, so is the spirit in men. So we're gonna catch on to that way quicker than we did back then.
Right.
So you can't pull that shit, excuse my French, around the brothers no more, man.
Yeah.
Because we see it. We're gonna use the spirit to discern it.
Go ahead.
Galatians 2:6. But of these who seem to be somewhat whatsoever they were, it maketh no matter to me. The Most High accepteth no man's person. For they who seem to be somewhat in conference added nothing to me. So, the key right there is that the Most High accepts no man's person, man. All right? Lord, he's the creator, man. He created you, okay? So, there's no favoritism with this thing, man. All right? Okay? I mean, of course, there's an order. You have the order, which, YAHAWASHI set up, but
I got to do something.
Yeah, Brian, what you got?
This is Romans 2:11. For there is no respect of persons with the Most High. That's simple and plain, right there.
Yeah, that's right.
So it's not about you got some name, and then even if you do something wrong, there's a pass because well this brother knows all this stuff, so it's okay for him to sleep with my woman. Where does that in the scripture?
Matter of fact, that's what them fucking assholes in Islam did. This guy, Richard Poole, the so-called the dishonorable Elijah Muhammad. He was sleeping with all kind of women and shit. And I'm sorry, it wasn't him. It was Dr. Z. York, Malachi York. He had to sleep with men's women before they got to sleep with him. Or some shit along those lines. And that shit is off, man.
This shit is off as hell, man. That's another act of showing that you don't have the fear of the Lord in you. To do certain things, you have to have no fear of the Lord in you. And these are the times. The Lord is angry, man.
Yeah.
Look at what's going on in the world today with Jake. We're being totally persecuted by our oppressors, by the system. So why is this happening?
So like, and that was, I believe it was Dr. Malachi York, if I'm not mistaken, that was sleeping with other men's women, if I'm not mistaken. It might have, well, that's another, what you call it, but I believe it was Dr. Z York that was laying down with other men's women, if I'm not mistaken. You know, but I know that these different, I can't call them cults because the word cult means worship. But I know that you have these different sects, you know, that do lay down with people's women before they actually lay down with them. You know?
Yeah, I mean, well, in all those churches that these people go in on every Sunday, a lot of pastors are sleeping with men's women.
Yeah.
Knowingly, in some cases, knowingly by the rest of the congregation.
Can I get a quick precept?
Yeah. Go ahead. And I'll show you if you got anything after him.
Yeah, we're gonna give you a wrap it up.
Wrap it up. Yeah, I'm gonna get.
Well, if I can say too, before I get the precept, you know, ultimately, you know, the elect are not gonna fall for that, you know.
Oh man. Pastor John said Dr. Pork was sleeping with little boys.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, that's right.
He said, what with little boys? Yeah,
No.
that's even worse.
You know, so you know, this thing is just straight up wicked, man. You know, but that's what Jake likes. They like to be, they like that those smooth thing. So that's what they get.
Right.
You want to know PP?
What was that?
That was it.
Oh, I mean, I was just saying, you know.
I'll show you. Did you have some? I have some if you don't. But
Nah, go ahead.
yeah, this is you know, just to keep, you know, the spirit just had us, you know, really flowing, man. This was really beautiful. But I get this. This is Proverbs 6:16. It says, "These 6 things though Yahawah hate, yea, 7 are an abomination unto him: a proud look, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood, and heart that deviseth wicked imaginations, feet that be swift in running to mischief, a false witness that speaketh lies, and he that soweth discord among brethren."
Yeah. See, those 7 things the Lord despises that. You know, and you have some guys that fit all 7 of those things that the Lord hates.
Okay.
You know, so we hate those that the Lord hates. You know, and whoever's doing those things, the Most High hates them. So you know what? We hate them too.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So if you're man out here looking on, bro, and that's these one of these things you're doing, you need to examine yourself and then go unto the Most High, repent, and ask for forgiveness, because you know we're in a time of grace where you can do that. And you know, and none of these things here, if I'm not mistaken, are sins unto death. But these are things that the Most High still hate. So you don't want to be caught up, because if you're continuously doing it, you know, in the times that we're in, man, the Most High, like the apostle said earlier, you might as well just off yourself, because the Most High might have something set up for you that you're not ready for, man. You're not ready for.
You have something like that?
Yeah. This is Sirach chapter 5. And I read down. It says, 5. It says, "Follow not thy own mind, and thy strength to walk in the ways of thy heart, and say not, who shall control me for my works? For YAHAWASHI will surely revenge thy pride." You know, and you got a lot of guys that's walking around in that spirit. Like, who gonna stop me? Who gonna touch me for it? You know what I'm saying? Who's gonna do anything to me? It says, verse 4. It says, "Say not, I have sinned, and what harm have happened unto me? For YAHAWASHI is long suffering; he will in no wise let thee go." Verse 5. "Concerning propitiation, be without fear to add sin unto sin." You know, and that's what the brothers was going into earlier, man. You know, if you ain't got no fear of the Lord, you know, you're just gonna do whatever, and you're gonna continue to add sin unto sin. All right, verse 6, the point. It says, "And say not, his mercy is great; he will be pacified for the multitude of my sins." No, so that's your own understanding. The Lord knows what everything's all good. It says, for mercy and wrath from him, His indignation rested on him.
Yeah, Ayak, when you speak, don't get too close to the mic. I think it's going in and out when you speak too loud in the mic.
Okay, Khan.
Read that last verse again.
All right, this is Sirach, chapter 5, verse 6. It says, and say not, great.
No, I guess it's just going in and out.
Connection.
Okay, Khan. Yeah, I don't know why it's doing that.
Go ahead, brother. I guess I don't see that.
Yeah, you can finish out with that, brother. We can close out with that.
Khan.
You know, I mean, you want to say a couple of words before we close out, or if you want to read that last verse again.
It's tripping over here.
Yeah. Yeah. So hey, well, this with this particular topic here, this particular title, you could go on for days just on that alone. Most of many things that the Lord hates, you could just keep building off of that, But if you are one of those men that fall into any of those criteria, pray to the Lord to take that spirit off you and continue on in the right path, because we're coming down to the wire where the Lord is going, he's bringing judgment, and he said he's going to bring swift judgment.
Right.
So if you're not walking in that right path, then the Lord is going to take you out. Because YAHAWASHI ain't playing, man. We're coming down to the wire. There's a lot of things that's going on. There's certain guys that are getting put to death. Certain guys that left the truth and they thought that everything was hunky dory. They get put to death, and certain situations are happening to them, and they still don't acknowledge that they're doing wrong. And the Most High, is going. He ain't gonna let nobody escape his judgment.
Right.
If I'm
not mistaken, I think the Apostle Tahar named this year the year of death and destruction.
Yeah, death, destruction, and diligence.
Right. So he didn't say correction. So the Lord is past the corrective stage, man. He's bringing destruction now.
Right.
That hurricane in Houston, that was destruction. The Hurricane Irma that's going around right now is destruction, because the word's been coming out already. So now it's time for death and destruction. So that's why we got to remain diligent in these words. And like the apostle just said, if you're doing these things, man, you better cut it out, because what's coming next is straight up destruction, straight up judgment. And the judgment that's coming to this place, man, it's going to be real severe.
Done. So anybody else got anything else to say? Ashiyar?
Good.
All right, so with that, we hope you brothers have been edified. Until the next time we say, Shalom.
Shalom. Shalom.